Well, I was a student at San Fernando Valley State College. I was getting my degree in psychology, and in 1966, I graduated, which ended my deferment from being drafted. They had the draft in those days because of the Vietnam War. So I decided to try and join the Air Force. When I was approached by a recruiter, he said, "How would you like to learn to be a meteorologist?" And I said, "I don't really know anything about rocks." He said, "There's a new program that we need more meteorologists in the Air Force." So that's what I got selected for. So I land in Vietnam, they open the doors, and it's 180 degrees, it felt like, as the air came in. And I met two guys on the runway, and they said, "You're not going to go where you were originally assigned." And I knew by the look on their face it was either really good or really bad. And it turns out it was really good, because I was transferred to Cam Ranh Bay, which was a really nice, non-threatening location right on the ocean. The enemy was no closer than 11 miles in the mountains. So occasionally they would shoot rockets, and they would kind of march them. So they would put 3 in a row, and you'd hear them. They'd go whoomp, 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 and you hope there's not 4, because that 4th one would probably land on your head, but it never did. So I felt pretty safe. It's very different because the weather in the United States changes frequently as the storms flow through. In the tropics, a weather pattern will set up, and it'll stay that way for 30 days. And then it'll change, and then it'll stay that way for 20 or 30 days. It's really good for a weather forecaster. You're only wrong once every 30 days. Sometimes you have to do it in real time because you have a radio there, and you get a call on the radio, and the pilot will say, "This is KX 5210, I'm flying from here to there, can you give me a weather forecast?" And so then you have to put together a forecast very quickly for his flight path. It took a lot of work, and you had to really think, and it was almost like art in a way too, because you were dealing with probabilities. So you would guess what's the highest probability of this, that, the other thing happening, and put out your forecast, and your name was on it. So you were always laying out a forecast. If you were right, everybody patted you on the back and said how wonderful you were. And if you were wrong, they'd say, "Oh yeah, just another weatherman. They don't know what they're doing." Well, it taught me discipline. It taught me how to do a job with excellence. It was also very challenging. You got a lot of responsibility at a very young age. Like, I was a lieutenant at the first station I was at, and I'm 24 years old, and have been a meteorologist for about a year or a year and a half, and I'm standing up in front of all these generals and people, a whole auditorium full of people, giving my weather briefing. So it was pretty challenging, and I liked that. My name is Scott Higgins, and my rank when I retired was Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force.